Hello, 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 and welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, 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 and welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to the All In No Limits podcast, where you will always find me, your girl, your pusher, your motivator, your sister, your cousin, your niece, whatever you need me to be. But whatever we do, we're growing and glowing, right? And we're healing on the way to our healing journey. So I need us to get comfortable real quick. Let's get comfortable. You already know your girl like to be comfortable because we got some things to talk about. You know what I say. Anytime we have these good, deep conversations, this is a place where we want to heal, where we want to grow, where we want to expand, or we just want to do whatever it is we need to do to get to the best version of you. You hear what I'm saying? And today, I'm a little dandy sidekick, y'all. Today, we are going to talk about accountability. Can I hear somebody say accountability? Yes. Yes. Accountability. What is accountability? Let's talk about. We always going to talk about the definition of what the Webster dictionary say. However, we're going to dive deep into this thing because I just believe accountability is attached to a lot of people bondage. Accountability is attached to a lot of people. What's stunting your growth, was stopping you from walking into your greater and being the best version of you. I feel like accountability plays a huge role in one, how we interact with people, our relationship with people, and our relationship with ourselves. Do you understand the importance of the relationship that you have with yourself? That relationship with yourself is very important. That, you know how I was talking about freedom and just finding your place of peace and your joy and making sure you put you first. And a lot of times I see a lot of people are held back because their lack of accountability. And then some people abuse accountability. So you know how it's crazy that every time we talk about something, I find pros and cons to everything. You know I do because I'm a person that lives and I explore and I observe. And I think it's a beautiful thing when people can take accountability, but it's all in how you utilize it. Let's break it down. So the dictionary talks about how it says accountability. You take responsibility for your own actions that you show. It says, so my question that came out of that definition was, do you blame others for how your life has turned out? How do you handle, how often do you play victim? Are those good questions? I'm going to say it again. Do you blame others for how your life has turned out? And then even attached to that question, when do you stop blaming others for how your life is? When do you stop putting the fault on what he did, she did, they did, or what they didn't do? When do you stop putting the fault on other people? When do you just take accountability for your part that you played? When do you take accountability for not walking away when you should have? When do you take accountability for not saying no when you should have? When do you take accountability for responding the way you did when you could have just not? When do you take accountability for yourself? And then I ask this question because I see so many people struggle with this. People are so quick to play victim. They always want to blame someone. They always want to act like the world is against them. Do you know people like that? Ain't it draining? It is so draining to have someone that always want to fault everybody for everything. Like, man, when are you going to take accountability for the part you played in the situation? When? Yeah, they might have been wrong, but when are you going to take accountability for what you did? Because maybe something you did maybe caused them to say and do what they did, and then, yeah, it was wrong. But when do you take accountability for what you did? Huh? It's crazy because oftentimes we act like we've never hurt people. We act like we've never talked about people. We act like we've never wronged somebody. We act like our stuff don't stink. But let me tell you right now, I have been a stinky little something in my lifetime. Do you hear me? Thank God I'm not hurt anymore, but I have. I have failed people. I have dropped the ball. I have not showed up. I have disappointed people. I have hurt people. And sometimes it wasn't always intentional. It wasn't. However, I take accountability for what I've done. If you've ever came to me and was like, Sharon, this hurt me, and I'm like, whoa, I sincerely apologize and I sincerely change my behavior. I'm not the type of person that will make the same mistake over. I have, y'all, but I don't do it anymore. I'm being honest because I've spent the block a few times and it was a foolish thing to do and I did it as if things had changed when they didn't even change. We're going to talk about spinning the block, but we ain't going to talk about it today, okay? Because that's a juicy something. Anywho, we'll talk about that another day. But what I don't do is if a friend or a family or anybody has ever came to me and said, this hurt my feelings and I didn't like it, I took accountability and I was like, you know what? That was wrong. And I might not have sought the wrong in what I did when I did it, but now that you brought it to my attention, you know what? You are absolutely right. And I apologize for that. And not only did I apologize, but I never did it again. I never did it again. I never did it again. I've never did it again. There's some things I have done more than once and it was foolish of me to do, but hurting people, I don't do that. That's not something, because I don't intentionally hurt people. I don't want to hurt people. I'm not the person that ever want to tear people down or hurt people or bring them down. That's never been my motivation. That's never been my story. That's never been my characteristic. So if I do cross a line, if I do fall short, if I do anything like that, I'm good at correcting myself. And when I correct myself, I don't be like, oh, well, you should have did this or you said this. No, I take part for what I did. I take that. I man up. I boss up. I woman up. And I take accountability for what I've done. And yes, I was wrong. And that comes with growth. That comes with maturity. And, it doesn't come with age. I'm going to tell you that. It comes with wisdom. It comes with experience. It comes with, because a lot of us have experienced a lot of things and we still haven't learned our lesson. A lot of us have went through things. We're like in a cycle and we're not learning. So we're constantly going through it. But at some point, you're going to have to learn from it. You're going to have to create wisdom out of it and you're going to have to grow. And at some point, you're going to have to say, you know what? Maybe it's not everybody else. Maybe everybody ain't singing the same song because, it's them. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Have you ever had a moment of maybe it's me? Those are the difficult questions, right? The difficult questions that you have to ask yourself. Maybe it's me. Is it you? And honestly speaking, I don't think it's a bad thing to come to realization or come to the resolution of that it's me. It's not a bad thing to realize it's you. That's a good thing. That's the perfect place to be like, ooh, this is my part where I need to grow up. This is the part where I need to heal. This is the part where I need to mature. This is where I could grow. Remember, we came here to grow. We came here to heal. We came here to expand. We came here to enlarge our territory. In order to enlarge your territory, you have to open up the capacity of healing in places where you might feel like you're the victim. And then I want to go deep into this, and I don't think I have enough time to go deep into this today because it'll take us we'll come back to that. But a lot of things that have happened to us in our life, in our childhood, and just growing up in our environment, some of us has been in some very dangerous environments, some uneasy environments, and we'll open up about a lot of those things because a lot of things that has happened to me growing up as a child, a lot of people never know. I'm a very secretive person for some of this stuff, but it wasn't me trying to keep it a secret. It was me trying to navigate through it and how to deal with it and how to deal with people coming into your space and trying to violate you totally against your will. It's being disrespected and one place where you thought was a safe place become the most dangerous place. Like, you healing from things like that is hard because there's certain things that could trigger it. Certain smells, certain colors, certain objects can trigger a childhood trauma. It can trigger things that just really we haven't healed from. And I'm grateful for those triggers because when I was on my healing journey, certain things had triggered me and I was like, whoa, I gotta heal from that. Help. Lord help. Help, because I didn't know it. I didn't know it until it happened. And I'm like, oh, I haven't healed from that. Oh, I haven't dealt with that. Oh, I haven't really allowed myself to feel it and grow through it. You know what I'm saying? I haven't allowed myself. You have to allow yourself. So, in taking accountability for things, you have to take yourself out of the victim seat. You have to realize that as long as you hold this and you don't choose to take accountability for it, you allow yourself um to not grow. You allow yourself to not become the best version of you. And I say this because taking responsibility for your actions without making excuses, accepting your role in something without making excuses. Um, you can create a safe place for yourself. You could create a trusted, caring space for yourself. I'm not saying, okay, blame yourself for everything, because you have people that do that. Now this is when I talk about the pros and cons. I know people that, well, I took account. I did it. I did it. Yeah, you did it, but how are you changing it? How are you bettering yourself? It's not good for you to keep saying, well, I'm taking fault for what I did. I'm taking accountability for what I did. But then you don't change the environment of what you're doing. You don't change the behavior of what you're doing. It doesn't make sense for you to say, yeah, I did it, when you don't change it, when you don't better it. You're taking accountability for the actions that you've done, but you don't want to be better. You you don't want to be better. How do you not want to be better? How do you not want to be better? We're not here to be bitter. We're here to be better. We're here to be better. You want to be better? Tell yourself, I want to be better. I want to be wiser. I want to be more mature. I want to be honest with myself. And that's where accountability comes in. Being honest with yourself. Not, oh, well, I did this because so and so did. No. There's no reason for you to act outside of your character. There's no reason for you to allow a person or a situation to have that much power and control over you to where you act out in a way that is not of who you should be. Take accountability. I haven't healed from that. So when you said that, it triggered me. I've had these conversations. I've had conversations with my friends like, oh, Sharon, remember when you did? And I said, you know what? At that time, I wasn't mature enough to articulate. Or not even mature enough to articulate, but I didn't know how to articulate my feelings. And because I didn't know how to articulate what I was feeling, I was enraged and I was angry and I was frustrated. I lashed out and I said some mean things and I did some mean things and my body language was horrible. I apologize because that's not who I am now. Now when I speak to you, I speak to you out of love. Even if I disagree with what you got to say or what you did, I speak to you out of love. I speak to you out of respect. I never want to take away somebody's dignity. I never want to talk to you as if you're not a person, if you're not a human being. Even if I'm at my wit's end with you, which even if you tugging on my last nerve, I want to come from a place of peace. I want to step back and say, I want to respond to this person the way that I would want the person to respond to me. That's how I'm learning to talk to people the way that I would want to be talked to. I'm learning to address situations the way that I would want people to address me. I'm learning to operate out of love and out of respect and out of compassion. Because why operate out of anger? Why operate out of bitterness? It's only going to make situations and matters worse. And part of that is making sure I take accountability, but not abusing the accountability. Not saying, yeah, I know I'm wrong, but then keep doing it. I know I'm wrong, but ain't fixing the issue. If there's a deep rooted issue in there, change it. Fix it. You tired of hurting people? Change it. Fix it. You tired of fighting? Change it. Fix it. It doesn't do us any good to take accountability, but we're not willing to change it and fix it. Change it and fix it. Grow. Some of us it's time to grow up. It's time to grow up. I know you probably don't want to hear it. You probably in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. It's time to grow up. I know older people who still holding grudges. It is time to grow up and take accountability for your part in the situation. Sometimes we can do things to people, do things to people, do things to people, and finally that person attacks back. And you mad, big mad. You big mad. You so pissed off, like, oh my God, I can't believe all the things you've done to people and you can't believe. Like, all the things you've done to people and you can't believe. What can't you believe? Oh, wait. What can't you believe? You can't believe that somebody can do what you did to them, to you? Oh, you can't believe it. You can't believe that you've been talking about people all your life and now all of a sudden there's a conversation about you. You can't believe it? I'm a strong believer that you don't want to be indebted to um, karma. And I say that all the time. I said you don't want to be indebted to karma. Because karma have a way of coming back around. And when it come back around, oh baby, it comes. It comes. You don't want to be in debt to karma. Stop thinking that you can do what you want to do, say what you want to say, and nobody can address you. And you don't have to take accountability for what you say. There's consequences to the things that we do. There's consequences to doing things good. There's consequences to doing things bad. There's always a response or reaction to an action. Don't think that you're exempt. That's going to be a big thing that we talk about. Stop thinking that you're exempt. Stop thinking you're exempt from people hating on you. Stop thinking you're exempt from people talking about you. Stop thinking you're exempt from people not liking you. You are not exempt. You can be a perfect Patty and people still gonna not like you. You could be a perfect Patty and people still don't care. They don't care. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for laughing. But I'm serious. Like, people don't care. That's why you have to take accountability for you, and you have to learn how to move in a place of peace and happiness. You have to learn. It ain't easy, but it ain't hard either. It ain't rocket science. It ain't like sometimes you gotta sit back and realize you mad because ain't nobody doing nothing for you. You won't do nothing for nobody. You want the world to cater at your feet. What do you do for people? And I'm not talking about materialistic things. What do you do for people? What do you do? Do you give people hope or is it false hope? When people come encounter with you, come in contact with you, when they have encounters with you, how do they leave? How do they leave your presence? Do they leave your presence drained? Do they leave your presence exhausted? Do they leave your presence hurt? How do they leave? Can you honestly say that you have enough integrity to love the people behind their back the way you love them in their face? Take accountability. We just talking. I ain't talking about nobody. I'm just talking about what I'm talking about. I love my pastor, I swear. I get it. I'm not talking about nobody. I'm talking about what I'm talking about. And if the shoe fit, wear it. But you have the ability to change your shoes and wear better ones. You have the ability to change your walk and walk better. You have ability to love people and love them right. And not love them contingent on what or if. I want to love somebody in spite of. Because people change, situations change, things change. But I'm going to love you in spite of. You ever had that kind of love? The unconditional kind? The I know you messed up, but I got you. I know you fell off, but I got you. It's taking accountability for your part in situations and not only taking it, but changing it and fixing it and bettering you. You deserve to be better for you. When we talk about these things, we're talking about bettering ourselves for us, becoming the best version of who you are. To become the best version of who you are, you have to be willing to look yourself in the mirror and be like, you know what? It was me. You know what? This is what you did. This is what you need to improve on. This is what you need to change. You want a good friend? Be a good friend. You want a loyal friend? Be a good loyal friend. You want a good husband? Be a good wife. You want good children, be a good mom. And I'm not saying that's on everything, but I'm just saying take accountability for your part in every situation. Not to be just pounding on yourself or coming against yourself or trying to condemn yourself. No, it's not about condemning yourself. It's about facing the truth. Facing the truth and being honest and truthful with yourself. Because then when you're finally honest and truthful with yourself, you be like, oh, well, I see why they said that. Or I see why they did that. Because I didn't really pay attention to my part. Because we always think that what we did ain't that bad. Or what I did ain't that bad. Yeah, it was bad. And you can't say how another person felt about what you did. Oh, it ain't that big of a deal. Yeah, it might have been a big deal to them. It might have been a big deal to them. We don't think about that, do we? Oh, it might have been a big. You don't know how you make other people feel. You don't know. And that's where the difficult conversations come in. I'm sorry. How did I make you feel? What did you feel when I said this, when I did this? Take accountability. I never want to make you feel like that. If you have a friend and you went to them and you told them how you felt, if you have anybody in your life and they may have hurt you, wronged you, and they take accountability, like they don't try to blame it or make excuse. Remember I was telling you about the conversation that me, my niece, and my mom had on Thanksgiving last year. And the next day my mom came to me without an excuse. She didn't make an excuse for what she did when we were growing up. She didn't make an excuse. She said, I'm sorry. And I love you. That was the most sincere. And let me tell you why it was so sincere. And not because she was in tears when she was saying it. It was because she listened. She heard me. And not only did she hear me, she heard my heart. And she was like, I hurt my baby. Regardless to what I was going through, what I was dealing with, and how I was doing it, I had no right to hurt her and make her feel like I didn't love her. That's what I heard when she said, I apologize. She didn't come in there saying, well, I was a single mom. I had to work. I had to do this. I had to do that. And when I was angry and this is how I raised and I was raised to be this. She didn't tell me that. She said, I'm sorry, baby, that I ever made you feel like I didn't love you because I love you. Oh my God. Do you guys understand how that healed my heart? It healed the little girl in me that was like, my mama didn't love me. It healed the little girl in me that said my mama didn't like me. It healed the little girl in me that I was like, dang, I feel like I'm out here in the world alone. It healed her. She's healed because of a simple an apology of somebody taking accountability for what they did and what they said and not making excuses for it, but saying, I love you and I'm sorry. It broke a generational curse. It broke the chains of a relationship that was in bondage. It opened both of us up to love each other in our truth. Some people are really difficult to love, but when you face the reality and you come and you are able to break a chain and break something that's holding your relationship bound and in turmoil, but when you're able to break free from that, like a part of you heals and it creates a space of freedom there. It creates a space of freedom where you can love this person without contentions. You can love this person without secretly hating them inside your heart, or love a person without still being mad at them. This is where the growth and the healing comes from. Taking accountability, looking at the situation not from one side. It's not always only one side. Because sometimes we make people feel some kind of way too. And we have to take accountability for that. And how you choose to move forward, that's up to you. But apologies are necessary when taking accountability. And not just apologizing, but changing the behavior. It does you no good to take accountability for what you did, what you said, and how you treated people. And then make an excuse for why you did it, how you did it, and when you did it. And then going back and doing it again. There's no accountability in that. There's no changed behavior in that. Absolutely none. So we have to learn how to take accountability, how to live in our truth, because it creates a freedom space for us. So when I said that, I said you gotta stop blaming everybody else. I made a list, y'all. Don't always feel like you have to be on the defense side. When somebody's coming to you to express how they feel, don't feel like you have to be defensive. Don't be already in your mind made up about what you're gonna say back. Listen, take it. Because sometimes when people open up to you, it hurts because you have to hear some hurtful things. Like, this is what you did, this is how you made me feel. And unless you don't have a heart to really hear what that person is saying, then that's on you. But if you really want to heal, you really want to be better, you really want to do better, listen. Listen to what people have to say and don't be so defensive about it. Listen, I literally sit back and listen. And then I respond. And I respond out of love. I respond out of compassion. I respond out of joy. Because who I was when I did that, I probably wasn't right. I wasn't. I wasn't who I was today. And I apologize sincerely. I'm so sorry. I never want to make you feel like that. I never want to make you feel like you're not wanted, you're not appreciated, you're not loved. I never want to make people that I love, I never want them to feel that. Never. I always want them to know I got you. I got you. I got you. Another thing, stop making excuses. I've been saying that for the longest. Accept the negative emotions. Accept it. This is what I've been saying the whole time. Accept it. You know, we're acting. We don't need to react to everything just because someone comes with us in anger. Don't mean we have to respond in anger. Have you ever had somebody come to you in anger and you respond in love? You respond in calm? I have. I recently had a conversation, and I was so calm about my response because it was coming from the heart. It was coming from the heart. The response was literally coming from the heart. So I don't ever want to make people feel like I don't care. You can come to me with your concerns, mad, hype, going off. I'm going to look. And I ain't going to laugh at you. I'm going to just be like, this person is really pissed. And I'm sorry. Like, I want you to sincerely know I'm sorry. Like, I don't want you to feel like that. That I didn't do this to make you feel like that. But because I made you feel like that, I'm sorry. That's hard for some people to do. And then the last thing, practice self-compassion. Learn to have compassion for yourself, and it will teach you to have compassion for other people. Learn to have mercy and grace on yourself. It will teach you to have mercy and grace on other people. This is taking accountability. Sharon, you were wrong. It's not the end all. It's not the end of it. You were wrong. You know how many times we all been wrong? We all been wrong. Tell somebody that you might be watching this show with, text them. Tell them you might have been wrong. You have been wrong. We've all been wrong. Every last one of us have been wrong. And we've also been wrong. But when you learn to take accountability for your part, you won't harbor and hold grudges to the things people have done. You learn like, dang, I'm going to extend this person mercy and grace. And it's hard to extend people mercy and grace when they've done it over and over and over and over and over. But how many times have we done things over and over and over and over and over, and God has extended all of his mercy and grace unto us? We wake up with new mercy and new grace every morning. He says, my grace is sufficient enough. It's enough. That means every time you need it, you got it. Every time you need it, you got it. Like, that sounds good, right? That's the joy that relies in me. Every time I need it, I got it. Now, I'm not saying wear out your mercy and grace. I'm not saying, string your mercy and grace along and do whatever you want to do because you feel like, okay, I'm going to have mercy and grace. No, I'm not saying to keep ruining the friendship, keep ruining the relationship, keep hurting people. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is learn to extend the mercy and grace. And sometimes extending that mercy and grace don't mean we have to be around each other all the time. That means I forgive you, I love you, and I wish nothing but the best for you. Maybe some people you can't help but hurt. Stay away from them. For whatever reason, heal from these situations. Be better. Be better. Be better. Be better, not bitter. We want to be better so that we could grow into the best version of us. I want you to be the best version of you. You hear me? I want you to be the best version of you. Okay? Thank you so much again for tuning in to the All In No Limit podcast, where you got me, your girl, your sister, your pusher, your motivator, the one that's gonna bring you hope, that's gonna bring you love, that's gonna bring you to the best version of who you are, because you deserve it. I love you. I love you. I love you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Tap in anytime. Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a cousin and tell an auntie. Tell your family to tap in. We're trying to go worldwide with this thing. You hear me? We want the world to hear what we got to say. Don't forget to leave a comment. If you have a comment or a question, leave a comment in the comment box. Let me know how you feel about this situation, about taking accountability. I want to hear your story. I want to hear your story. I want to hear your story. Do you understand me? If you want to come in and join in, you can always come and visit me. I have another chair, y'all. So anytime y'all want to come in and join in and sit with your girl, I am in the building. Let's go. I would love it. But I love you so much. I hope you have a beautiful day, a